Emma. Miss Pam here. Hope you're doing well today. And this is our fourth lesson that we are going to have together with our book, Pillow Fort Password. And what I need for you to do is to have these materials nearby. I need you to have your book. I need this worksheet that Miss Hannah put in your packet. Go ahead and pull that one out, put it to the side. You will also need a glue stick and some scissors. Now, these are Miss Pam's grown-up scissors, so I know yours are a little bit smaller, but those will be the 4 things you need. So I'm going to let you get your materials out. And the first thing I want us to do is move the scissors and the glue and the worksheet to the side, because the first thing we're going to do is just read through our book. And then after we read our book, we're going to learn a new skill that will require you to have some really good listening ears so that you can learn a new skill and follow the directions for the worksheet. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get our book out and turn to the very first page, which, as you remember, it starts on page 3. All right, so let's get our reading finger ready. And remember, we want to track as we read. Starting with the word my. Now remember, the words that were highlighted in pink were our vocabulary words, and our words highlighted in yellow are the high frequency words. Those are words that we see on most every page. Here we go. My brother wanted to come inside the pillow fort. He did not know the password. My sister wanted to come inside the pillow fort. Miss Pam's having trouble getting her pages turned. She did not know the password. My dad wanted to come inside the pillow fort. He did not know the password. My mom wanted to come inside the pillow fort. She did not know the password. I let my mom in anyway. People who bring cookies do not need a password. The end. All right, so what I want you to do now, since we went through our book, and Emma, I just wish I could hear that beautiful reading voice, because I know you're doing a great job. So what I want you to do now is just move your book to the side, but not too far, because you're going to need it again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some words that we're going to talk about and learn about how we can use them. Whoops, picked up the wrong one. I'm going to scroll out just a little bit, but I want to make sure you can see them. I'll just make 2 rows. How about that? We can spread them out. That'll be easier. All right. Now, if you look at these 5 words, I'm sure you're able to read them, but let's go over them anyway. The first one that we see here is he, she, we, it, and they. Okay, let's read those one more time. Read them with Miss Pam. He, she, we, it, and they. Now these words have a special name and they have a special job. Now, I want you to listen carefully. If you remember before spring vacation, we were talking about nouns. And think back to Mrs. Morgan's room when Miss Pam had all those pictures laid out on the table. And we talked about how a noun is a person, place, or thing. Okay? So I'm going to write that up here just as a reminder. Let me make that just a little bit closer. Hopefully you can see this. So we know that a noun is a person, a place, and thing. Okay, so we're going to have a little quick review. So a noun is a person, place, or thing. Now, an example of a person would be Emma. You're a person, right? All right, a place. Let's think of a place that you like to go. A place that you like to go would be the playground. Now, you may have said something different, but Miss Pam can't hear you. But that's okay. So a place where you go to play is a playground. Now, let's think of something that we like to play with on the playground. Something that is a thing. It's not a person. It's not a place. It's a thing. Oh, I think I've seen you do this. I think I've seen you play with a jump rope. So an example of a thing would be a jump rope. Okay, so we know a noun is a person, place, or thing. An example of a person is you, Miss Emma. A place where you like to play is a playground. And something that you like to play with would be a jump rope. Okay, so that's a review of what a noun is. Now you're probably wondering how these words that Miss Pam just went over with you before we reviewed what a noun was, you're probably thinking, well, what does that have to do with nouns? Well, these words have a special name, and we call these words pronouns. Now, you probably notice that you see the word noun and the word pronoun, just like up here. Can you say pronoun? Very good. So let me explain to you what a pronoun does. A pronoun is a word that takes place of a noun. Okay, so a pronoun is a word that takes place of a noun. So in other words, it substitutes the noun. Okay, now we're going to do some practice with this. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is let's repeat our pronouns. He, it, they, she, and we. Now, when we think of the word he, right here where Miss Pam is pointing, we know that he refers, I'm going to switch these around a little bit, that he refers to a boy. Okay, so the pronoun he refers to a boy or a man. The pronoun she can take place of a girl's name, or a woman or lady, however you want to say it. So she takes place of a girl's name. We, now that's where it gets a little tricky. When we use the pronoun we, we're talking about two people. Okay, two or more people. But because it's we, that actually means that you have to involve your name in that. For example, if I said, Emma and I want to go get ice cream. Since I included myself, I could say, we want to get ice cream. The pronoun they also stands for two or more people. But this is where it's a little tricky. The pronoun they includes other people, but not yourself. So for example, I might say, Emma, Kate, Sosie, and Emma R want to go to the sensory room. Instead of saying all three of your names, I could say, they want to go to the sensory room. I'm talking about two or more people. And our last pronoun that I want to introduce is the word it. It is going to stand for a thing. Okay? For example, if I said, the jump rope is on the playground. The word jump rope could be or take place with the word it, because it's a thing. A jump rope is not a he or a she or a we or a they. That stands for people. It stands for something. Okay? That's a lot of information to learn, isn't it, Emma? So we're going to do a little practice with that, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I still need you to keep listening. Hang in there with me. I'm going to pull my pronouns up. Okay, I'm going to erase my board. And we are going to have some sentences that we're going to do together. And then we're going to choose the correct pronoun. So I'm going to put all the pronouns down here to choose from. I have he, she, we, they, and it. Okay? I hope you can see this on your screen. He, she, we, they, and it. All right. Now, Miss Pam is going to put a sentence right above it. Okay, we're going to read this sentence together. Are you ready? All right. My dad likes pie. Okay, I'm going to pull that up just a little bit to make sure you can see it okay. Let's read that one more time. You ready? My dad likes pie. Now, we know we have a declarative sentence because it's telling us something. And we have a naming part. So if I were to ask you, Emma, who likes pie? What would you say? That's right, your dad. Now, if we want to take out the noun, which is dad, because he's the person, and we want to substitute it with a pronoun, which one would you use? What stands for my dad? Would it be he, she, we, they, or it? Which one would you choose to take place of my dad? Now remember, he's a boy or a man. Did you choose the pronoun he? If you did, that's correct. That means the same thing. It can just take place of the noun. Instead of saying my dad likes pie, you could also say he likes pie. Okay, you ready to try another one? All right, I'm going to move this one up here. My cards keep getting all messy. All right, so next one I'm going to do is, oh, I have one. Okay, let's read this together. You ready? This one's about your mom. Here we go. My mom likes pizza. Let's read it again. My mom likes pizza. So again, we have a declarative sentence. It has a naming part and a telling part. So if I asked you, Emma, who is the sentence about? It's about your mom, that's right. Now, instead of saying, my mom likes pizza, what pronoun could you use to take place of my mom? Would you choose he, she, or we? That's right. If you picked she, that's correct, because she is the pronoun that stands for a girl. Let me straighten that up. I should have taped those together, shouldn't I? So let's read our new sentence. She likes pizza. So instead of saying my mom likes pizza, you can also say she likes pizza. Okay, getting the hang of it now? Let's do a couple more. All right. Ooh, I bet this one's true. All right, let me move these up a little bit. It's hard for Miss Pam to see the camera when I'm down here. Okay, let's look at our sentence that I just put on here. I'm going to come out just a little bit. There we go. Starting with the word mom. Mom and I love ice cream. Okay, now you read that to yourself out loud when I point to the word. Here we go. Very good. Now, Emma, I want you to think about this. We're talking about who likes ice cream. So there's two people in the naming part of our sentence. It's your mom and it's you. That's right. Your mom, and even though I'm saying you, I know you're on the other end saying I. Mom and I. So we're talking about two people. Now that includes you. So what pronoun are you going to use when you have two people that include yourself? Are you going to choose he, she, we, or they, or it? What's going to make sense? He love ice cream? No. She love ice cream? No, that just stands for one person. We love ice cream? Yes, that makes sense because we is going to include your mom and yourself. So instead of saying mom and I love ice cream, let me bend this one back so it's not so tricky. There we go. You could say we love ice cream. So we is the pronoun that stands for mom and I. All right, we got two more we're going to do. Here's a long sentence. There we go. I think you can see it now. All right, so we have the same pronouns down here to choose from, but our sentence is different. Are you ready to read it? Okay. It says, Emma, Kate, and Sosie are my friends. Okay, let's read it again. Emma, Kate, and Sosie are my friends. So we have a naming and telling part. And if I were to ask you, who are we talking about that are your friends? That's right, Emma, Kate, and Sosie. So if we wanted to choose a pronoun to take place of Emma, Kate, and Sosie, would we choose he are my friends? Does he stand for Emma, Kate, and Sosie? No, that one doesn't make sense. She are my friends? Well, she stands for girls, but she is only one. Remember, we're looking for two or more. We are my friends? Well, we know that we stands for two or more, but we has to include you. So which one do you think it's going to be? They are my friends. That's exactly right. The pronoun they can stand for Emma, Kate, and Sosie. So instead of saying Emma, Kate, and Sosie are my friends, you can use the pronoun they. Because remember, a pronoun stands in place of a noun. They are my friends. Okay, we have one more and then we're going to be all finished. Whew, I bet your brain is hurting. All right, so let's look at our last sentence. You ready? All right. Here we go. The ball is round. The ball is round. Now, again, we have a declarative sentence. Can you tell Miss Pam what is round? That's right. The ball is round. Now, it's a noun, but it's not a person. It's not a place. It's a thing, right? So, what pronoun are we going to choose to take place of the word ball? Would we say he or she is round? No, the ball isn't a person. Would we use they or we? No. They and we stand for two or more people. What about this one? It. I think that's right. I don't think, I know. So instead of saying the ball is round, you can say it is round. It is the pronoun that can take place of the ball because it's a thing. Let's say it together, Emma. It is round. It stands for the pronoun ball. All right, so your 5 pronouns, let's read them one more time. He, she, they, we, and it. All right, now, I want you to get your book back out. Hang in there, we're almost done. And we're gonna find a few pronouns in our book. All right, I'd like for you to open up to page 3. Okay. Now let's read this sentence together, starting with my brother. My brother wanted to come inside the pillow fort. Okay, now I want you to turn your page to page 4. Now, if you notice, instead of saying my brother did not know the password, they use the pronoun he. So he, the pronoun he on page 4 stands for the noun brother, my brother. So we have pronouns throughout our story. Let's look at another example. Let's turn to page 5. I'll give you time to get to page 5. And this time, we know that we're talking about the sister. So we're talking about a little girl. So let's read the sentence. My sister wanted to come inside the pillow fort. And if you turn to page 6, Emma, what do you see? Instead of saying my sister did not know the password, what pronoun did they use? That's right, they used the pronoun she. She is the pronoun that stands for my sister. Excellent job. Let's do one more. page 7. My dad wanted to come inside the pillow fort. And let's look at the pronoun that they chose on page 8. What do you think the pronoun is that stands for my dad? Do you think it's he or she? You're right. It's he. He stands for the noun my dad. So we see pronouns all through our book in lots of stories, and we use them a lot in our spoken language too. All right, so here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to get you started, but what I want you to do is get out your pronoun sheet. And I'd like for you to look, first of all, at the very bottom. Can you see the very bottom here? I'm going to pull that up, but you have the same sheet. But we have the same 5 pronouns that we've been working on. So let's practice reading them. It, they, he, she, we. So those are the same 5 pronouns that Miss Pam introduced to you. So I want you to read them on your own one more time when I point to them. It, they, he, she, we. All right, now, here's the next part of our assignment. I want you to look at the very top of your paper. Now you'll notice that there are 5 sentences. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, in these rectangles, we have some nouns. Okay, so what we're going to do is, and I'd like for you to go ahead and get your highlighter out, if you could grab that. We're going to highlight the naming part of the sentence. So let's read number 1. That word is pronounced Michael. Can you say Michael? I'm going to pull that down just a little bit, Emma. Hang on. There we go. Sorry about that. All right, so Michael, let's read it. Michael read 5 books last week. Okay, let's read that again. Michael read 5 books last week. That's a lot. So if I were to ask you, Emma, who read 5 books last week? That's right, you would say Michael. So I want you to go ahead and highlight the word Michael, okay? Now let's put your highlighter down and put your finger underneath this word for number 2. And the way we pronounce this word is Sally. That's the name of a little girl, Sally. Okay, let's read and find out what Sally likes to do. Sally likes to go to the zoo. Okay, read that again. Sally likes to go to the zoo. So get your highlighter, and I want you to highlight the naming part of our sentence, which is Sally. Michael's the first. Michael stands for a boy. Sally stands for a girl. All right, let's put our highlighter down, and let's read sentence 3. My mom and I had a special day together. I hope you got that word the first time because that's one of your spelling words. Let's read number 3 together. My mom and I had a special day together. Who had the special day together? That's right, Emma. My mom and I. Now remember, I is going to stand for you. So just pretend you're saying my mom and I. Pretend that's, or not pretend, remember that refers to you. All right, 2 more. Number 4. Here we go. My brother and sister were playing together. Let's read it again. My brother and sister were playing together. So who were playing together? You're right. My brother and sister. That's the naming part of your sentence. Brother and sister, they're both nouns. Okay, last one. Number 5. You ready? Hang in there, we're almost done. The ball was rolling on the ground. Okay, let's read it one more time. The ball was rolling on the ground. So if I were to ask you what was rolling on the ground, what would you say? That's right, the ball. So that's also a noun. It's not a person, it's not a place, but it is a thing. All right, so you have, I'm going to pull this down just a minute. If you look at your sheet, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 naming parts. So what I need you to do is you're going to cut out your pronouns. Okay, you can just watch Miss Pam do that. You don't have to do it right now. Okay. But if you want to, you can. And we're going to make sure that when we cut, we are staying on that dotted line as much as we can. Okay, so I've got my pronouns all cut out. So now I've got to separate them. So I'm going to cut on those little lines right there, snip it right up. Again, if you want to wait and do this part on your own, you are more than welcome. Okay, so if I've moved too fast for you and you want to just put your scissors down, you can, because we're just going to go over these pronouns one more time. Okay, I know they're kind of small, so I'm going to pull this up. I can barely see it myself, Emma. Okay, so we have the pronoun he, she, they, it, and we. Can you see that one? All right, so here's what you're going to do. I'm going to pull this out again. So what you're going to do, Emma, is kind of like what we did together. You are going to read the sentence, okay? And then you're going to determine which pronoun can stand in for the noun that's highlighted. So we're going to do the very first one together. So get your glue stick out. And I hope that you have your pronouns all cut out. And we're going to do the first one together. So let's read it. Michael read 5 books last week. So what pronoun stands for Michael? Would it be he read 5 books last week? She read 5 books last week? They read 5 books last week? It read 5 books last week? Or we read 5 books last week? Now they all make sense except for the it. But I'm looking for the pronoun that stands for one boy. Did you choose the pronoun he? If you did, you get a 2 thumbs up. So what you're going to do is take your glue stick, put a little glue on the word Michael, and you're going to put the pronoun he over that. And now it reads, he read 5 books last week. All right, so here's what I want you to do, Emma. I know this has been like a really long lesson, but you did a great job listening. I want you to read each of these sentences on your own, and then I want you to choose the pronoun, the correct pronoun that takes place of the noun that is highlighted. Now, if you need a little help, it's okay to ask your mom or your dad, but I'd like for you to try it on your own. All right? Don't forget to put your name on your paper and put that back in your packet for Miss Hannah. And I will have your last lesson ready for tomorrow. We're going to just read through our book and take a little quiz. So you have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.